Wait, can I get a picture? Where's Mom? Thank you. Oh my gosh. The before and after. Where's this? Sorry. Megan, I'm gonna add you guys to this.
signed. We wanted to get a picture today. Casey, you want to?
Yes, I'm back here.
You're back there. Can you see you? Hey, where are you? There you go.
Here we go. Thank you, Governor. Yeah, and thank you very much for your support of this over the years. We're here today to celebrate the passage of Madelyn's Law, which is a bill that will provide every Ohio child the right to hear and mandate insurance coverage for thousands of Ohio kids who don't have it today to ensure that hearing aids and associated services will be covered. It's just an amazing story of the coalition, many of the folks who are here in this room, having just unbelievable persistence and the energy that they've kept up over the years behind this that has gotten us over the finish line on this bill. And Leader Russo and I, who are the two original joint sponsors on the bill, are so thankful because this wouldn't have happened without them. And of course, we're thankful for the governor's support along the way too. But this is the right thing to do for Ohio kids. So a very, very important step today, and it wouldn't happen without these families, and especially these young people who have lent their stories and shown up.
Leader, you want to say anything?
Yes, I tell people all the time, this is my favorite story to tell about legislation because it originated from our constituents, our communities, and anytime, a lot of these young people, we truly have seen since they were this high, middle school, high school, they've gone on, but I love to tell the story of Madelyn's Law because I was originally approached about it at a town hall. Ellie here is now in college and advocating for her family and this issue, and these students showed up, they gave their voice to this story. So I tell kids when they come to the State House, you are never too young to advocate and use your voice for an issue that is really important to you, and this is a great example of that.
Cool. And
legislation that will have real impact on people's lives in a very good way.
You want to introduce Madelyn?
Yes, I'll let you choose your constituent. Yes.
So Madelyn's parents, Nadia and Sean, are here, and Madelyn I've known since she was very young. She's a lot taller now, and informed me today that she is now an equestrian, which is pretty impressive. But
cool.
She was born with genetic hearing loss, and her parents shared when I got elected for the first time in 2019, or when I started as a rep, that they didn't have coverage for her. And actually, Nadia, would you mind sharing the story of the conversation you had?
Sure. So we're both professors. We feel like we had pretty good jobs and good insurance and things like that. We're very lucky. And when we found out when she was 2.5 that she had hearing loss, and they told us that they were cosmetic devices and wouldn't be paid for children because they were a cosmetic device instead of something that she would need. And so I remember crying on the phone with the insurance company saying, what do you mean these aren't covered? And when the first time we went to the audiologist, they said, well, you can return them. And I said, why would we want to return them? They said, well, a lot of families can't afford them, so they have to return them. And they just have to go without hearing. And so we were fortunate to be able to pay for her hearing aids, but a lot of families aren't. And they need to be replaced every couple of years, and they're very expensive. So we're very proud.
Well, great. Well, thank you all very much. Thank you for your citizen advocacy. It is great. So, as I said, this was part of a larger bill, but we wanted to get everybody in here to celebrate this. And I'm going to hold this up. This is the bill that actually enacted Madelyn's Law. And if everybody could look straight forward and smile, we'll get a picture, or two pictures, or many. How long can you hold a smile? That's the question. All right. So these are some pens that were used, and when I sign bills, I use a lot of pens to do it, so that each one is the real pen. You get the first one, and I don't know if you can pass those out over there. We'll pass you guys some pens. Some pens. Would you like a pen?
Yes, there you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Leader?
Do the honors.
Do
Thank
the
you.
honors there. It's all good. I'm going to try to see if I can stand up here with all you guys. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's great. Congratulations, everybody. Thanks for all your
Thank you so
all
much.
your good work. It's a real citizens bill. This will do a lot of good for a lot of people. So a lot of
Yes.
children. It's a wonderful thing. I'm very proud to have signed the bill. And congratulations, you guys.
Thank you.
Governor.
You guys should be very, very proud of the bill. You know, sometimes we pass bills, and it's an important bill, but you don't get too excited about it. And other times you get a bill like this that you guys have driven through and with a lot of help and got it passed. So you should be very, very proud, and all of you are very, very proud. So
Well, thank you. Thank
we
you
appreciate it.
for
Yeah.
helping us get across the finish
Yeah.
line.
So guys, I'll tell you a little story. The press already knows the story, but this desk they call the Lincoln desk, and it was not really his desk, but when Abraham Lincoln had been elected in November of 1860, but you know they have to count the electoral votes, and so and Lincoln wanted to go to Washington. He was also trying to unify the North. South was starting to leave the Union, and what he did is he got on a train from Springfield, Illinois, and made a lot of stops on his way to Washington, D.C. before he was going to be sworn in. And he was actually here at the state capitol here in Ohio talking to the General Assembly, and was actually in here talking to the then governor, it was Governor Dennison. And that was the day that the electoral votes were counted in the Congress. So he actually got a telegram. In those days, they didn't have other communications that was quick, so telegram came out, and one of his aides came in and handed him the telegram and said that it was now official that the votes had been counted and he actually was going to be the President of the United States. So he was actually here in Ohio, so that we call this the Lincoln desk, and you'll see over there is a bust of Abraham Lincoln. And of course, he's not an Ohioan, so people say, well, why is he here? And that's because he was here in this room when he got the official news that he was going to be the President of the United States. So,
All right.
thank you all.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Governor.
Governor. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Did everyone get a pen? I don't think you got a pen. Thank you.
Did you get a pen?
Oh, story time.
Alexis, did you get a
Anybody
pen?
else need one?
Sorry, pen? I think my mom got
A pen? Did you need one? Did you have one? Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay.
Are we going another room?
Okay, all right. Thank you all.
Anyone else? Go ahead. They're for you.
It's always good to have you. Yep.
Some of you just come on each side. You know.
Just have them fill in on this side too.
Hey everybody, before we get started, the governor's going to take questions about Braden's law from the table. We'll probably do a gaggle to the side afterwards, but I just want to let everybody know what the protocol plan was for that.
Yeah, so we'll do Braden's Law first. Everybody will stay here in case you want to ask anybody anything. And then we'll let them go and we'll do a gaggle. And just in case you might have other questions. I know that, you know, that's probably not likely, but all right. Brian, you want to, who wants to start? Andy, Brian, who you got? Who wants to go? Who wants to do it first? I want all three of you just kind of explain a little bit.
All three of the,
Yeah.
I'm State Senator Andrew Brenner from the 19th Senate District. I represent Olentangy Local Schools and Olentangy Liberty. And this bill was brought to me as one of the sponsors. We have it sponsored in each chamber, and the House bill is what's being signed today. But basically, we're increasing the penalties for sextortion, and this is something that has been needed for a long time. And I think that this is a good bill, and the family here, they're deserving of this, and so is the memory of Braden.
Rep. Lorenz and I had the great honor of being the House sponsors of 531. I'm State Representative Beth Lear. I actually graduated from Olentangy, where Brandon was attending, and some of his schoolmates are here today. They graduated in the spring when he should have graduated. And we are so honored to be able to bring 531 to the governor for signature today. Another key aspect of that bill is we wanted the families to be able to have access to the cell phone information, because Braden's family had to wait 10 months to find out what had happened to him. So we're allowing quicker access to phones so that families can find out what's going on with their kids, and so we can work more quickly to get the answers that they need.
I'm Representative Brian Lorenz, Western and Southern Delaware County, and also have Olentangy schools within my district, and also have 4 recent graduates from Olentangy schools. And so one other great aspect about this bill deals with collaboration. and the work that the representatives, Senator Brenner, our Sheriff Balzer, our prosecutor, Melissa Schiffel, came together to craft this legislation to try and put a stop to this heinous crime. And I'd also really like to recognize the Marcus family for their bravery. Through this process, I've felt that I've grown much closer to them, and I'm very, very proud of them for the things that they do to recognize Braden's honor, numerous golf outings and events, and you can see these young kids back here being involved as well. So we're just grateful to be here.
Lieutenant Governor?
Yeah, I'd just add that in addition to the legislation, it's an opportunity to create awareness. This is a crime that is being perpetrated on young people across this country and across our state. There have been more victims, James Woods and others that we've come to know over the course of time. And so moms and dads, just make sure that you let your children know that they can come talk to you about anything, and that these kinds of things happen. Everybody makes mistakes, but you've got to make that, you got to open that line of communication, make sure that your children know that there's a trusted adult in their home or at school that they can talk to in case something does go wrong in their cyber world. And this is one more positive step of a lot of work we have to do to protect our kids.
Yeah, I just, as governor, want to thank everyone who's been involved in this. Thank Braden's family. I know that this is, not an easy thing to do, but what they have done will make a huge difference. And again, as the Lieutenant Governor said, awareness is so very, very important. And so we wanted to do this publicly. We wanted to make sure that people could see and hear about this horrible, horrible story, so they can be aware, and that so they can influence how they deal with their own family. So we're doing this today. It's, we think, very, very important. So what you're going to watch me do is use all these pens to sign my name. So this is not, we do this so that I hand these out to each one of you who's played a role in this. And I really wanted you to each have a pen that was actually used in the signature. But it's not a pretty sight to watch, and it's not really fast, so, but you'll my wife and I started first grade together. She's always had perfect handwriting, and I've always had bad handwriting, and so it's not, as she says, it has not gotten better over the years, so. But hey. You guys can talk, you can do anything. This is not
Yeah,
a.
you can.
Governor, I told them that Abraham Lincoln touched your desk.
You told him what?
That Abraham Lincoln touched this desk, is that correct?
Ah, yes, I'll tell him the story in a minute. I can't, as my wife says, I'm a male, I can't do two things at once here, so,
Same way.
I'll give you the story in a moment, so. Oh, I'm still in 24.
Did that the other day.
Long day, guys, there you go.
Takes a minute to get
Yeah,
the year right.
gotta adjust.
It does, it takes for a few days, but,
25 years into the century.
wow, wow. That's rough, John.
Yeah, I'm like,
For those of you who would like to feel like you've been around for a while.
it's 25 years and they're going to college. Yeah.
Yes, when, yeah, past that, I passed that long time ago.
Thank you. It's a team effort.
I'm here to help. You know, we'll just like do this and Bill.
Expediting.
I want how to reach.
We were hoping that we were gonna get the bill passed faster than you could sign it, Governor.
Well, it's, yeah, some things take a while, right?
Yeah, was talking earlier in the day, because the end of the legislative session is where all the bills pile up and finally get passed, but that forces the governor to get writer's cramp at the end of the year.
Especially now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Some people complain about that, but every legislative body I've either been in or observed does the same thing, so it has something.
Deadlines,
It has
deadlines.
something to do with deadlines, and we react to deadlines, I think, and
Yes.
it's human nature, so it's way.
I never did that when I was Speaker of the House.
I think there's some people in this room who know different than that, John. Someone in the press corps has been around at late nights and.
I can't, my job.
Yeah, you're slacking, you're, come on.
I'm sorry, slacking.
Well, it's been great how you've all hung together to see this get done.
Yeah.
This is a big achievement. You should feel great
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
your leadership and your willingness to speak out about it.
The effort will make a huge difference. And, you should be very proud of what you're doing.
I love it.
Okay.
Great.
All right.
Work.
Congratulations.
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 Thank you.
Way to hang in there.
Thank you.
Governor, may I ask you, as you signed Braden's law, how did you feel knowing that you were protecting more Ohio children and families?
Well, this is a bill that clearly will protect children better. It's an ongoing process. As Lieutenant Governor Houston said, part of the reason we're doing this publicly today is really to make people more aware. This is a problem. This is a huge problem. And sometimes the results of this problem were just gut-wrenching and horrible and tragic. So that's what we're really about today. The law is a very good law, but it's also the law can be a teacher. And the passage of a law going through the legislative body with tremendous support from so many different people, I think sends a message about its importance. And, we hope that other families do not, suffer this horrible tragedy. My wife and I know that there's nothing worse than losing a child. And so many people have had that happen, but this was a horrible, and continues to be a horrible tragedy that they will live with the rest of their lives. And, we can't bring Braden back, but what we can do is do something in his name today and say, we're going to make a difference. And that's what they have done. I congratulate them for that. Anybody else on the bill?
Governor, I understand that work on this legislation, though, really isn't finished, that the legislature's going to try to work on that compensation part.
Yeah, well, I'll let the legislators talk about that. You guys want to take that?
Well, we would like to do a little more, especially crime victims compensation funds. Just found out that we do allow that for non-citizens who have crimes committed against them in Ohio. So we want to make sure that if we're going to do that, we definitely need to be providing for our Ohio citizens who are suffering. So that'll be something we work on.
Yep. Yeah, I would echo that and just simply say that, later on down the road, we'll continue to look at that. Fundamentally, we wanted to get this bill passed. It's in great form, and it sends a very strong message to people that are looking to exploit our children, that we're not going to put up with that in Ohio, ever.
We want to make sure that from the Crime Victims Fund, though, that it goes to the victims and that it is specific in this case. This was sextortion and it led to, a suicide, and the family had to deal with this, and I think this is something that we'll work through the legislative process over the next 6 months, maybe try to work with the governor and everybody, Attorney General and all, to make sure that we have language that is very specifically and narrowly tailored, so that, you know, these additional victims can be compensated for the help that they need.
Anybody else on this subject? Let me pass out. Take a few of these.
Thank you.
Make sure. You guys can help me pass these out. On that side, I'll get some on this side, and we'll get them going here.
Good help, Ella.
Good help, thank you.
Like mother, like daughter.
Everybody, there was another photo that you want, there was another photo you wanted.
Yeah, with the family.
With just the
If we
family.
can have that
You guys are-
set up right now, we'll do that real quick.
We'll make sure everybody's got one, so.
Do you want?